Hi, my name is Nadia and I am here to talk to you about nuclear energy. Power plants that depend on atomic energy don't operate that differently from typical coal-burning power plants. Both plants heat water with pressurized steam, which drives the turbine generator which produces electricity. Nuclear fission is essential to producing nuclear energy. The fission process is when an atomic nucleus is broken by neutron impact. The original nucleus splits into two lighter nuclei, also releasing free neutrons and a large quantity of energy and radiation. Let's look at the disadvantages of nuclear energy. The radioactive waste, the waste from nuclear energy, is extremely dangerous and it has to be carefully looked after for several thousand years. The next disadvantage is the nuclear power plant accidents and terrorism. If a nuclear power plant accident occurs, the environment and surrounding people could be exposed to high levels of radiation. A satisfactory plan to protect nuclear power plants from terrorism is not in place. The waste from nuclear power plants is extremely dangerous and it can remain active for more than several thousand years. There are several issues with burying the radioactive waste. Waste would be transported in large trucks. In the event of an accident, the radioactive waste could possibly leak. Another issue is that we cannot be certain that the cask will not leak after the waste is buried. The amount of radioactive waste that we currently have would fill the Yucca Mountains and new sites would need to be found to bury future radioactive waste. Several methods have been suggested for final disposal of high-level waste, including deep burial in stable geological structures, transmutation, and removal of space. One other problem of radioactive waste is producing more nuclear weapons. The same know-how used to design nuclear power plants can, to a certain extent, be used to build nuclear weapons. Some of you may not know that nuclear energy is neither sustainable or renewable energy. Nuclear energy uses uranium as fuel, which is a scarce resource. Their supplies are estimated to last only for the next 30 to 60 years. So it won't be available anymore for future generations. Also, nuclear power plants have been not only expensive, they are also financially extremely risky because of their long lead times, cost overruns, and open-ended liabilities. Now let's look at the pros of nuclear energy. 1. It does not rely on fossil fuels, which is non-renewable energy. Nuclear power plants release less radiation than coal power plants. 2. 3. Emission of carbon dioxide is very low. By not depending on fossil fuels, nuclear power costs are not affected by the fluctuation costs of fuel and coal, and it is very cost effective. Nuclear energy also generates a large amount of energy. Uranium is less expensive than oil, natural gas, or coal. Nuclear power plants produce large amounts of electricity for relatively low costs and as such are viable means of power. What is nuclear power being used for and where is it being used currently? Nuclear power is being used in 30 different countries like China, South Korea, Japan, Canada, and the USA. Nuclear power is being used in parts of these 30 countries to power everything from homes to factories. 19.2% of the world's power is nuclear.